So I live in Israel, a place where there aren't really good waves, if any at all. However, I managed to improve my surfing skills in my 25 years of surfing. It wasn't easy, and I'm still working on things and trying to improve my surfing and my abilities all the time. But when I look back, there are really things that influence my surfing and help me to reach where I am today. So I decided to share those things with you, so maybe you can learn from them as well. The first thing that helped me to improve my surfing is filming myself, or more accurately, self-awareness. And let's be honest, have you ever thought you had an epic performance on a wave, like a great snap, a perfect cutback, a clean tube ride, and then someone filmed you or take photos of you and you didn't believe it was you? Like suddenly your hands were all over the place, your style was off, and you lacked stability, and it just looked terrible. This is what self-awareness in surfing is all about. Because I think that without someone filming you, you don't really have a way to improve your surfing, and you don't have a way to measure your progress. What you see with your own eyes may not necessarily reflect what is happening from an external perspective. I've been filming myself since a very young age, and I think it really improved my surfing because I had the chance to learn from my mistake over and over again. Like I remember my first air, I was lack of stability, lack of style, but in my head I thought I was a pro, and everything beyond that. And slowly I improved my air game, and I realized that I needed to lean more forward to be more stable on the board. And I also remember my first barrel somewhere in the Maldives when I was just 13 years old, and I thought I was really getting in the barrel, but in reality I was far from a barrel ride. It was only when I saw the footage that I realized I was actually scared to get deep in the barrel and to do it properly. And when the years go by, I just learned how to really not be afraid from the barrel and from the face of the wave, and to really hold the barrel steady and make it out. So the next thing that helped me improve my surfing is travel time. I live in Israel, and most of my life I surfed waves around waist to chest high, sometimes shoulder high with inconsistent swells, to say the least. I had to travel and surf worldwide, and I believe that's where I made the most significant improvement in my surfing. When you go on a surf trip, you step out of your comfort zone in terms of the waves. You don't know what conditions you'll get, the wave height, how many people will be in the water. There are so many variables, and you are there to enjoy it, but you also want to improve your surfing. Like I remember my first trip to Indonesia, my first barrel in Padang Padang. I truly felt how I improved my positioning through the barrel, maneuvering and making the line. And then it was one of my first trips to the Maldives where I really put effort in learning the backside tube ride. And this trip really helped me in one of my craziest surf trips I've ever made in Morocco. It was 2 years ago. You see, all those trips pile up together and you gradually gain more knowledge and experience, and most importantly, confidence and freedom in your surfing. The problem, I think, is coming back to your country when you return to your local home break and you can't believe this is your reality sometimes. So the next thing that helped me improve my surfing is friends. Since I can remember myself, I have friends who surf with me through thick and thin. Like we've done surf trips together. Much of my improvement, I think, came with them. The fact that we surfed together, shared our feelings together, planned trips together, and experienced all these things together made me feel a part of a community. So I recommend you find at least one friend that you can share this amazing journey with. And by the way, sometimes surfing with friends who are more experienced can also push you out of your comfort zone and elevate your skills. This happened to me with my friend Yoni Klein in Morocco. Yoni has a lot of experience in big and powerful waves, barreling waves, and I saw him surfing with such confidence, and it really made me push my own limits, and I'm truly grateful for that experience. Now, at any stage of life, we look up to someone, whether we admit it or not. And I think in surfing, it's no different. Like, I watched a lot of surf videos, and surfers from around the world and I try to see which style and which surfing I connect with the most. And I'm not saying you cannot improve your surfing if you go through this process alone. Surfing is highly individual sport, but I do recommend finding someone to share this journey with. Next thing that helped me improve my surfing is having the right surfboard. You see, volume is your friend. Once you understand that, surfing becomes much more easier. I surfed on a narrow, thin boards with minimal volume for many years, with the thought that I wanted a surfboard that felt light and responsive under my feet, especially in small waves. But the problem is that it forces you to work harder. You need to paddle harder, it's gonna be harder for you to generate speed, and you can miss out a lot of sections of the waves because you can't reach them in time. I surfed on 2 low volume surfboards until I was, I think, 18, and I see many beginners making the same mistake, transitioning too quickly from a soft top or a longboard to a shortboard with minimal volume. And this is not the best approach. I would recommend some sort of a hybrid board, like a twin fin or fun board, that the volume drop is around 20 to 30% from your first surfboard, and not more. So the last thing that helped me to improve my surfing is time in the water. And it might sound obvious, but for beginners it needs to be said. More time in the water equals more experience and equals more success. Like, many people start surfing with high expectations of a quick success, which rarely happens in reality. You see, I believe that the learning curve in surfing starts to stabilize as you advance in skill. What does it mean? Let's say you're a beginner. The gap between getting up on a board and actually surfing is very short, but the gap between that and catching a green wave or riding a wave without any help is a bit longer, and it requires more hours in the water. And of course, talent plays a role here. You can't be a really good surfer without basic talent, but also you can't be an average surfer without putting a significant amount of time in the water and into surfing. So I hope this video helped you and I was able to summarize some of my personal improvement and journey with you. And if you want to see some more surfing videos, click here or here. See you on the next video.